Hey guys, it's your girl Curly Kiki and welcome back to my channel. Now if you are new, don't forget to hit that subscription button below the video, and to all my returning subscribers, a warm welcome. Now don't forget to also give me a thumbs up for this video if you like my content. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this style, so stay tuned to find out more.
5, 6, 8. Don't need to hype me up.
Do that thing with your eyes.
Money, look.
Jumping right into my braiding pattern, first I make a part to the center of my hair, and that's just to average how deep I want my hair section to be to the front as compared to the back. So once I'm finished sectioning off my hair to the front, I go into parting the back of my hair. So the first section in the back of my hair, I'm putting 3 braids and I'm using rubber bands to section my hair off. So after putting that first layer to the bottom, I'm putting my second layer to the top, which has 4 braids, and then the layer following that has 5 braids. So I always do the center braid first and then put the 2 on each side, and once I'm done, I section the top of my hair, 1 to each corner, and separate the center of my hair. For this style, I decided to try the Janice collection here in the shade 1B, and this here is pre-washed, pre-stretched, pre-separated, pre-everything, and it's in 60 inches. When doing the braids, I am not using the rubber bands, so I only use the rubber bands to section off my hair, and then I remove the rubber bands once it's time to install the knotless braids. So what I'm doing is I'm putting Shine and Jam to the roots of my hair, and once my hair is fully saturated with the Shine and Jam, I separate my hair, I comb through my hair to make sure there are no kinks or anything, and then I go into doing my knotless braid. When doing knotless braid, for me, I think it's easier when you watch what someone is doing than have someone explain it, because for me it's difficult to explain how to do the knotless braid. But what I can say is that I always try to feed the hair in from the bottom and then continue with the braid. Each time I'm adding a piece of the hair, what I'm doing is adding the piece of the hair on one side, so I always add on the same side each time, and I hold the extra piece to the side, and once I'm done feeding in that first piece, then I add the second piece to feed it into the braid or to continue with the braid. So you're going to see another demonstration soon as to how I'm doing this. So I'm just checking to see if the hair is smooth and if the feeding in was correct, and once that's good, I move to the second section. So as you can see, I add the piece of hair on one side, and I'm holding that extra piece of hair with my baby finger, and once I'm done adding that portion of hair, I then feed the little piece that I had with my baby finger into the rest of the hair, and that's what gives me a smooth transition into adding hair to the braid. There are many different ways as to how you can do knotless, but I have found that this is what works for me, and it gives me a nice smooth consistency when doing the braids. I am adding some Shine and Jam to the ends of my natural hair, and this is going to help me for when I'm tucking my hair in, well, into the braid itself. So it's going to help me conceal my hair in between the braids. For each braid to the back, I'm adding 4 pieces of the feed in hair. Now if you're not good at sectioning off your hair and you're not sure how much hair is needed per section, this braid is going to be really great because it comes pre-sectioned. So all you need to do is add your hair when you're doing your feeding in, and it's going to make sure each one of your braids to the back has the same consistency, it's the same size, and you wouldn't have to worry about seeing like your braids, some big, some smaller than some. All is going to be the same size. Once I'm finished with feeding in the hair, all I do is braid my hair as far down as is needed. So I'm going to be doing some curls to the end, so I don't necessarily braid my hair straight down to the end. I just braid it up to where is needed, and then I use a rubber band to secure the ends. I'm just showing you one last demonstration as to how you can do the knotless braid. So this is from a different angle, and I'm going to be feeding in the hair from the opposite side. So before I had feed the hair in on the left side. Now I'm going to feed my hair in on the right side and let you see, it's going to come out the same way. All you need to do is find what works for you, what method you're comfortable with, and your hair is going to turn out just fine. I did notice that this hair does knot a bit easier than the regular braids that I'm used to. The hair did work great, but it does not. That's all I'm saying. It does not. So from time to time I had to stop, and you're going to see me combing through the hair just to make sure there are no kinks while doing the braids. So just be aware of that if you decide to purchase this hair. Feel free to let me know in the comment section if you have ever tried knotless braids on your hair before, if you have ever tried, doing your own feeding cornrows. Let me know how it came out, and also let me know what you think about my method, if you use the same method before, if you use a different method. So leave me a comment in the comment section below and let's chat. I will admit that knotless braids is not as easy as I initially thought it would have been, so let me know in the comment section below if you prefer to just pay someone to have it done, or if you don't mind, attempting it and doing it on your own and saving you some coins in the process. If you're on Instagram, feel free to connect with me at curly_kiki. So that's curly_kiki. You can find me on Instagram. Feel free to connect as well. Once I'm done feeding in all the hair, I just braid the hair straight down till the end, just as in the previous braid. So that's all you see me doing, braiding the hair straight down till the end. And then once I get to as far down as I want, I'm going to seal the hair with a rubber band for curling. I'm now all done with the back of my hair, so now it's time to move on to the front. So I just wanted to show you what the back looks like once I have finished removing all the rubber bands and installing my knotless braids. To achieve my braiding pattern I had to the front, I first make a slanted part at the front of my hair, as you were just seeing. So one side is going to be parted slanted with 3 braids on one side, and the other side is going to be parted straight. So this is what it looks like, or this is how I actually part the first slanted braid. So I usually section my hair off before I do all the braids. The first section when doing my cornrows is always the largest section, so that very first section to the side, and then I go in and neaten up my braids after doing a rough part. For the feeding cornrows to the front of my hair, I usually add shine and jam to the roots of my hair, and I try to get as much as possible in, making sure that it's also smooth as well. And once I have enough shine and jam around the parted section, I usually add some to the center as well. So I didn't show you how I did the first braid, so I'm just showing you now how I did the second braid from a different angle. So the remaining section that I had, I tried to divide it equally in 2, because you're going to be seeing these sections more as compared to that first section. And I add the shine and jam to the parts of my hair, and then I go in and neaten the parts with the shine and jam. When doing my feed end braids, I love to section that first few braids, or the beginning of the plait, I would say. So this is going to help the front of my hair to look a bit neater, and it's going to look more uniform when I separate the front of my hair, especially as I added shine and jam to my hair, which makes the hair stick closer together. when doing the feeding as well, I begin with using smaller pieces of hair, and as I go further to the back or I go further in, I gradually increase the pieces of hair that I am adding. So that very first piece of hair is going to help the braid to have a very natural look, especially if you're feeding in from the beginning of your hair. So the smaller the braid, the better it's going to be. And I'm using the same method. When I add the piece of hair under the braid itself, I hold the hair with my baby finger, and then after I will usually pull the extra piece of hair through when I'm continuing with the braiding pattern. So I'm just holding that excess piece of hair at the beginning when I'm feeding it in, and after doing that first braided cycle, I usually add the piece of hair back in. So it's sort of a 1-2 count I'm doing. When braiding my hair, I'm using the end of the comb to separate my sections, or to help give me equal sections, or even create that stitch effect that I'm trying to achieve. So here is where I'm adding the piece of hair. So that's like 1 cycle there, and 2 I pull the hair in. So that's all I'm doing when feeding in the hair. If you're not quite understanding how I'm explaining it, then you can probably just look at the video, and hopefully it's clear enough and you can pick up what I'm doing. So while doing this braid on myself, I realized that this was definitely is a very tedious process attempting to do these stitch braids. I don't think it came out exactly how I wanted it to, but then again, it was my first time trying stitch braids, and especially on myself, I think I did a good job. I mean, it wasn't what I wanted exactly, but it came out pretty well for my first try. Let me know in the comment section below if you think you may want to attempt doing stitch braids on yourself, or if you're thinking no. Yeah, and as I said at the beginning, I started off with really small pieces to the front, and as I got closer to the end of the braid or to the back of the plait, I started adding larger sections. So I started off really small, and then I gradually increased to the larger sections of hair. And for the stitch braids, I use the same amount of hair that I used to the back. So in total, I use 4 of the pre-section pieces for the cornrows, just as I used to the back of my hair. So all the braids are going to be looking the same size. If you look closely at the braiding pattern that I did the first side, it's slanted, and the braiding pattern for the second side that I'm showing you now is more of some straight parts. So one is slanted as I'm showing, and the other side is more straight, and that's what's going to give you that sort of effect that I have at the ending. I'm finally on to the last braided hair. So what I'm doing is I'm feeding in the piece of hair, as I mentioned before, with, you know, feed it into the same side, section my hair with the base of my comb, do a full cycle, and then add that excess piece of hair that I was holding with my pinky finger, feed it into the same side that I initially added the braid. So there I'm feeding in the hair. I'm parting to make sure that I have an equal section of hair, do a full braided cycle, and then feed in that last portion of hair that I was holding with my pinky finger. So it's the very same method I'm using for both the feed-in and both the individual knotless braids. Hopefully you picked it up in the video. If not, you can have a look again, and maybe you can pick it up you know, by watching the video again. Once I'm done with the braids, I go into adding some rollers to the ends of my hair, and this is to give me a curl. Now what I noticed with the rollers is that the bigger the rollers, you're going to have a nice, you know, stretched curl, and if you use smaller rollers, then you're going to have a very nice defined curl. So once I place the rollers on all of the hair and I dip the hair in some hot water, this is what the curls look like once I took those rollers off of my hair. So you get a very nice defined curl with the small rollers, and this is one of the larger rollers. This is what the curl is going to look like. So it's slightly different from that very first small curl. So once I take all the rollers off of my hair, I went in and I added some hair mousse to sort of set my hair, set my cornrows, and to make sure all the wild hairs are tamed, if there are any hairs at all. And this is what the final outcome of my hair looked like. So I tried to achieve a stitch braid, but I didn't quite achieve that. And this was my very first time attempting it, so don't fault me. Hopefully I'll get it on my next try. This was a very tedious process, so let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and if you like what the outcome of my hair looked like. Is this something that you think you may want to try on your own, or do you just prefer to pay someone to have it done? So guys, tell me what you think about the length of the hair as well. If you prefer, you know, to try this style with a color, or if you like it in the black. So let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for staying till the end, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscription button below the video, and also give me a thumbs up for this video. And I will see you in my next video, guys.